this evening prayer, we shall start with a certain interesting incident again, where it speaks of the glory of the Nama. Mariana Kaplan, an American lady from Mr. Lee's group from the States, had come to Thiruvanamallai in the beginning when the ashram had just started and Bhagavan was giving darshan in the ashram premises. It happened that she stayed on for 6 months. She had the fortune of having darshan of Bhagavan every day and join all of us in the Nama chanting. So much so, sometimes Bhagavan would ask her to lead the chanting, and we would all be singing after her. After 6 months, she felt that she had to return to States to her family and friends. So she prepared to go to the airport. When she was passing through the security at Chennai airport, she was anxious to return to her family and friends after 6 months at Thiruvanamallai. She originally came to stay for 6 weeks only, but somehow, by the magic of love, the miracle of love of our Bhagavan, she found herself staying on over 6 months. Now anxious to get back, she passed through the security, but to her dismay and annoyance, she was informed that she had not had her foreign visa stamped by the local police, which was necessary for her stay longer than 6 months in India, and that she must remain in Chennai until she was able to acquire the requisite stamp. It was past midnight. Her body was exhausted, her mind and spirit so run down by all these formalities. She began to argue with the men at the security, but to no avail. That she begged and found no mercy, nor did her tears appeal to their kindness, generosity. Desperate now and absolutely helpless, she began to remember Yogi Ramsuratkumar Bhagavan and started chanting the name as she had done so many thousands of times in those 6 months in the Yogi Ashram of Thiruvanamallai. Strangely, she did not chant silently, but in a soft but somewhat loud voice, little realizing she would be heard by others around. She even criticized herself for being egoistic and arrogant, that she could not just chant quietly, but need to be heard by people around. What she did not know was, it was Shri Yogiji's will and saving grace that she was made to do it. The security guard returned 1 hour later, just as her plane was getting ready for boarding. And here she was weeping in self-pity. The security guard told her unexpectedly, "Ma'am, it so happens that I traveled to Thiruvanamallai last weekend to have darshan of the great saint Yogi Ramsuratkumar. While I was there was a young Western woman leading the chant. When I heard you were chanting now here at the counter, the security counter, a few minutes back, I realized you were that foreign woman I had heard chanting." She was beginning to feel some hope. Something stirred in her heart. The security further said, Yogi Ramsuratkumar is a great, great saint. I want you to know that it is for that reason alone that we will let you pass through security now and board your plane tonight. Run along. Needless to say, how Mariana must have felt at that moment. So it's only when we are absolutely helpless, in bleak despair, we remember God alone is our security. God is our only helper. So let us chant. We are also in a similar state right now. None of us are able to help this situation in any way. So all we can do is submit our prayer from this very powerful, divine Sandhya time from morning. We have been chanting the powerful Yogi Ramsuratkumar Nama. Let us all remember his promise that not a single Nama goes waste, and every Nama is doing its work. I would like to bring one particular incident to our attention here. Once, when Bhagavan was seated in Sannadi Street House, an IAS official had come with his wife and daughter. The daughter was studying in the college. And when she looked at Bhagavan, she found him very different from the usual kind of great people. She was very curious. And suddenly she said, Swami, what is your age? Bhagavan did not say anything, kept up silence, but she would not let him go. She pursued. She asked again, Swami, what is your age? Again, there was only silence, but again the girl wouldn't learn. She pursued. So Swami knew that the girl would not let go, and then finally he said, it's not important to you, ma. Why are you asking? And again she said, Swami, what is your age? And then he said, this beggar is eternal. He has no birth or death. And then, as soon as he pronounced these words in all his glory, there was a heavy silence. We do not know what happened to the girl. She became very, very quiet, and so did everyone else. But something about his true nature was passed on. And again, another time, one Mrs. Kamalam, a retired professor, was doing puja to the picture of Bhagavan in her house on his Jayanti day. She so much wanted to come to Thiruvanamallai on his Jayanti day for the celebration, but there was no celebration in those days. The early 90s, she was told by a friend of hers, it's no use going to Thiruvanamallai, you cannot even find him because his house would be locked and nobody knows where he would be. So remembering that, she was doing puja in her house, and suddenly she put this question to the picture of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, where would you go on your Jayanti day? Would you be going to your true residence, natural residence, Kailash? And then she left it at that. She even forgot about it. But 2 or 3 days after, she came to Thiruvanamallai, visited Bhagavan, and was seated in silence in front of him. Suddenly there was somebody, a visitor, at the gate, and he was asked in. And that man asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, I came to you on your birthday here I found this gate locked. Where did you go? And pat came the reply from Bhagavan, oh, I went to Kailash, my natural residence. So this is Bhagavan in his true form, as revealed by himself. Though of course, Kamala wondered, how did he know? When she put the question at home, here he is answering. He is all-knowing. He is all-powerful. He is everywhere. And to such Bhagavan, we are now submitting our prayer. Bhagavan, beloved Bhagavan,